I believe it was a great day for the city of Pine Bluff when Mike Morey assumed the leadership role as senior pastor of First United Methodist Church here in our city. Mike, I want to tell you, over these years that I've known you, I've come to appreciate your heart for God, your heart for this city, and your strong leadership in what is considered an historic church here in Pine Bluff. I just want to ask a simple question or two and let us know some insights that are exciting about your church and what the Lord is doing here. But talk to us about some of the outreach efforts that you're involved in and some of the ministries that your church is doing and that we're celebrating.
Thank you, Gary. And let me say it's been a joy getting to know you and to get to know your congregation some as well. I really appreciate your ministry and the ministry of First Assembly. Let me just mention a couple of three that are fairly new and that we're very happy about. We're downtown. We've been here since 1830 and we're downtown, and we're wanting to reach out into our neighborhoods, which is, of course, has changed. So a couple of ways we've done that. 4 years ago, we began to partner with the Boys and Girls Club, and what happens during the fall and spring semester is the school is also a partner. They come and bring us between 60 and 80 kids a day after school, 3 o'clock till 6. And during that time, not only does it keep them off the streets, though, they get a meal. They have tutorials for math and science and reading. They also have character development. After spring break and during the summer, the school drops out of being our partner, which is a good thing because that means we now can also add a spiritual component on top of that they're not allowed to let us do that. So that's a great thing. We will be out at Townsend Park. We'll be out at St. Mark, a African American United Methodist congregation with a feeding ministry this summer. We're able to do that in part, by the way, with a neat thing called Quad W. It's we have this summer we have 8 college students who feel led to be of service, and they're from all over. They're from Alabama, and they're from Oklahoma, and they're from all over in Arkansas. And they come and live in downtown Pine Bluff on the 4th floor of First Methodist, bless their hearts. And they go out then and they initiate ministries not only within our church but also in other settings. And it's just great to have them here for the 8 weeks. Yeah. So that's one piece. So that's a cooperation that's ongoing almost year long with kids in our community.
Yes, wonderful.
A new ministry is a ministry to those who have Alzheimer's or who are caregivers. Okay. The stats say that there are about 2,500 patients of Alzheimer's in Jefferson County. You multiply that number by 2.5 probably to get the caregivers and the families that are affected by this awful disease. Right. And so what we're seeking to do, we have a staff person that's initiating this and has done this in Texarkana. But we're seeking to partner with other churches, and what's been most effective lately is what we call a memory cafe, which is where the patient and the caregivers join other patients and caregivers, and they have a blast together, and there's a lot of support with one another. And eventually we thought the Lord was going to lead us to having a respite care facility, and that may happen one of these days, but right now what it seems to be most fruitful is, and we could have a caregivers cafe at First Assembly, and in fact we're already in partnership with Allen Temple AME Church on the east side of town, and they've had a memory cafe and will continue to do so. It's just an effort to really deal with Alzheimer's and that disease.
Great ministry.
Wow. Final thing, and the reason we're standing here is, as you can see, this a year ago we were just cutting grass out here, but our hearts were troubled by the fact that there's food insecurity in Arkansas.
Right.
In Arkansas.
Yeah.
And we're in the top 5 in the country of food insecurity. And we looked around our neighborhood, and we have a lot of rental properties around here, and we had the Crown Hotel over here, to where if you're living in those places, you wouldn't have any place to have a garden.
That's true.
And we designed it last year for the neighborhood. We publicized it, we sent out information, and you know, it just takes a while. The first year, only 3 of our neighbors took one of these above ground gardens. So that meant I got to have a garden last year. But this year it's been completely reversed. We have 14 above ground beds. We're putting in a new one right here. We have 14, and all of them are taken up by neighbors except 3. So I still have a garden, but there's just 3 out here that are related to the church. And this is great. These, for instance, are put to where if you're on a wheelchair, or if you're old and can't bend over and get your hands dirty, you can have a garden there. And if we have food that comes out, we often take it to neighbor so that they have some fresh green vegetables, fresh vegetables to serve. So that's a little thing. We've got a little orchard here. We've got a Bible herb garden here with the herbs identified in the Bible. It's been a lot of fun. It's drawn a lot of people coming by, just inquiring on what's going on here.
But Mike, that's what I've been impressed by since I've known you. We want creative ministry, and we got to get out of our box and get away from the cookie cutter stuff, and you're doing that. This is not the only thing your church is doing. We're aware of that. But these are incredible and exciting things that you're doing, and I want to thank you that your church, under your leadership, I believe, represents what is the best of the Bluff. And I appreciate your friendship. Thanks for sharing some time with us.
Thanks so much, Gary. Blessings on you.
Too.